Howdy, it's Cloudy. Go back to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't checked out my last video, make sure you're gonna do that. Hit the like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoy your stay, Cloudy for the day. You know what I'm saying? Today, we got a video from the Cosmic Wonder called Breaking. Denzel Washington cast as villain in Doctor Strange 3.
We have a
very
significant
wild,
update today for Doctor Strange 3. We know that
I know this is an early pause, but I was just talking to my people about how all these actors and shit, bro, are all getting cast for Marvel, bro. People thought I was lying, bro. I was telling the truth, bro. Marvel is planning on casting damn near 90% of the people that are in acting right now. I'm telling you, that are in the acting industry, they're looking at everybody. I'm telling you, bro. It's so many heroes and villains and stuff, bro. You damn near gonna need the whole industry to make the damn MCU for real. You know what I'm saying?
Strange 3 is going to be an incredibly important movie for the multiverse saga in the MCU. And it looks like Marvel Studios does already know the direction that they want to go, which does make a lot of sense because Doctor Strange 3 is supposed to come out before Avengers Doomsday. And it looks like they already know who their villain is going to be for the movie, the role that the villain is going to play, and the role, of course, that Doctor Strange is going to play in the entirety of the multiverse saga. And the best news is, it looks like we have a confirmation of who the villain is going to be played by, who I'm sure I put in the title so you already know, Denzel Washington. According to a new...
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I heard a little leak, you know what I'm saying, that bro's gonna be playing Dormammu, you know what I'm saying, the real life Dormammu. If I believe so, because remember, like I told y'all, the first Doctor Strange stuff I watched, bro, it was like the cartoon animated version. That was the first one I watched, bro, which was better than the movie, I'm gonna be honest. But I think Dormammu end up like, I don't think he becomes a human. I think he just takes over people, you know what I'm saying? But I'm guessing he gonna come to life. And supposedly he a king variant.
Report from Production Weekly, Doctor Strange 3 is well underway, and we now have a director and our main villain. Now, we've heard the rumor about the director, and Production Weekly has listed for the director of Doctor Strange 3, Sam Raimi, which I do think is a great choice. I think that if they get Sam Raimi involved from the ground up, from the very beginning, let him be involved with the script, not come in and have to deal with somebody else's script and direction, I think it could be a great movie, especially with who they have planned to play the villain, which, according to Production Weekly, will be played by Denzel Washington himself. He is joining the MCU.
I don't care what movie Denzel get into, that nigga can act, bro. I'm telling you, bro, he can act, bro. I'm glad he's a part of the MCU, but then that just also lets everybody else know that they're looking at everybody in the industry to potentially play a character for the MCU, bro. And me personally, I might be wrong, but I think the MCU might be the biggest company when it comes to like filming and all. They got the most stuff going on right now. You know what I'm saying? They got way too many characters that they need to hurry up and cast. You know what I'm saying? I heard they casted old boy from Cobra Kai as Nova. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, they snatching.
Or you go off and start thinking, is Denzel Washington possibly
want to be an actor right now? I feel like it'd be the perfect time.
No, it does not seem like that is going to be the case. I would have liked that. I think that would have been really cool, even if it were to just wrap up the story of Kang and bring in Doom. It would have been really cool to see. And this is what a lot of people thought before when we heard that Denzel Washington had met with Marvel. He met with Marvel right after all the stuff with Jonathan Majors went down, so a lot of us just assumed Marvel Studios was talking to him about possibly replacing Kang, and they might have been. We know that they were going to consider replacing Jonathan Majors as Kang until they decided that Kang wasn't actually that big of a villain, and a lot of people weren't too excited about him, so they decided instead of simply recasting Kang, they were just going to bring in Doom and bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Doom to get people hyped again, which, yeah, that definitely worked. But no, Denzel Washington, according to Production Weekly, which usually is very accurate, is playing the one and only Dormammu. That's right, Dormammu is returning, but now he is going to be played by Denzel Washington. And this does make a lot of sense if we consider the post-credit scene for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And if we consider who Clea actually is. And this really does actually set up Doctor Strange 3 to be kind of a bigger movie than we originally thought it was going to be. Don't get me wrong.
I always thought Doctor Strange was a big part. Once I realized he was a part of the MCU, I was always like, oh yeah, definitely is a big part, especially because he had the time stone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, bro, definitely playing a part. He's a sorcerer. You know what I'm saying? Bro, if you a sorcerer, you can manipulate magic reality and stuff. You have to be a main character in the MCU, bro. It's almost like, how are you not one of the main characters when you can literally change everything with like a spell? You know, so I always knew he was gonna be important. I just never knew how they were gonna plug him in. But from what I'm hearing, he's gonna help Doctor Doom because I guess he's gonna end up thinking Doctor Doom's plan actually makes sense if it means you can save a universe. Like, bro, Doctor Strange got some issues, bro. He don't know what team he want to be on.
Already knew it was going to be pretty big, but we didn't really know who the main villain was going to be at the time. But now we know. So let's tie this to the ending of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and talk about what we know. Well, at the end, Clea and Strange were going to the Dark Dimension, the dimension ruled by Dormammu, who not only rules the dark dimension, but he also looks to seize other dimensions and add them to the dark dimension. So essentially take over other dimensions and put them in his own so he could rule essentially everything. And this just adds a completely new layer that I really like to Doctor.
And I don't know, I'm paused, but that just made me think, bro, Dormammu must be strong as hell. And who trained, bro? Somebody had to train him to get that strong, bro. Whoever trained him need to be put in jail.
Strange 3, especially with Clea as well. Because you see, Clea is actually the niece of Dormammu. Dormammu is the brother of Clea's mother. Now, in the comics, Clea's mother abandoned her right when she was born because Clea's birth was very traumatic. To her, Umar was her name, and her brother Dormammu are beings called Faltine or Faltinians. They are extra-dimensional energy beings that are basically born of just pure magic. And they can be in human form or Faltine form, and that's what Dormammu typically chooses to remain as, his Faltine form. However, when Umar gave birth to Clea, she lost the ability to turn into her Faltine form, and she was just incredibly enraged by this. So she abandoned Clea, fought Dormammu. Dormammu kind of basically easily wiped the floor with her and banished her away. Clea then never really knew what happened to her mother, but she grew up worshipping Dormammu. So we've heard that in Doctor Strange 3,
bro, we gotta see a movie on old girl, bro. It don't matter how they should do a TV series, bro. We don't need a movie, you know what I'm saying? They should do a TV series on some of these sub characters, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they not gonna be the main, we ain't gonna see them growing up and stuff in the movies, they should make TV series on these characters, bro. It'll be perfect. They'll make bread back to back to back to back, bro. What are you, bro?
Is going to be a part of the group called the Black Priests. Now, the Black Priests are a multiversal organization that are essentially trying to stop the multiverse from being destroyed. Now, that seems to be the case for Doctor Strange 3 because at the end of Multiverse of Madness in that post-credit scene, she shows up and she tells Strange, you caused an incursion to happen, and we're going to fix it. So clearly she is doing something to try and fix the multiverse, to fix incursions, and it sounds like she definitely knows a way to fix them, which is good, unless she's lying, which she might be, because we have learned that a lot of different parts of the multiverse think that Doctor Strange is the problem. He is the one, him and his variants are causing incursions all throughout the
bro, I forgot. Bro, in the second Doctor Strange movie, bro, all of his variants damn near messed up the universe, bro. If you're being honest, bro, they couldn't save it. You know what I'm saying? So he's seen as a bad guy, hella strong. But I think it's the fact that he got the time stone is what set that chain of events in every other dimension. Because once he used that time stone and he started reverting time back and forth, bro, I think that's what messed up all the other variants he had. And it probably made them use the time stone the same exact way, but a lot worse, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So I forgot all about that everybody's seen him as a problem in other dimensions, bro. I forgot all about that, bro.
Multiverse. So this simply could be a trick to simply get him in front of the Black Priests or in front of Dormammu. Because like I mentioned, Dormammu is Clea's uncle, and she does serve and worship him in the beginning. However, eventually, she does go on to eventually marry Doctor Strange, so she does become good. It's actually a very romantic story that does involve Dormammu that I think might actually be the ending for Doctor Strange in the MCU. We know that the soft reboot is coming, and not everybody is going to survive the soft reboot, and some characters are going to be retired. Or some actors will retire playing certain characters, and some other characters will be recast in the new MCU.
See, I feel like she could have done something
those characters.
because she was basically
in the comics, when Clea discovers Doctor Strange in the Dark Dimension, she gets pretty curious, and she essentially follows him around and ultimately helps him, and then Dormammu imprisons her. And this actually happens a lot. Dormammu imprisons Clea a lot. Doctor Strange comes, defeats him, releases her, then she gets captured by her mother. She gets imprisoned. Doctor Strange comes, defeats her, lets her go.
Well,
eventually, Clea
now we see why she's so in love with dude, bro. It's because he was the Prince Charming of the whole situation, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why she loved this nigga.
Earth at the Sanctum Sanctorum because they believe that's the only place safe. Doctor Strange and Clea fall in love until eventually Clea does have to go back to the Dark Dimension, where she would actually become Sorcerer Supreme of the Dark Dimension, having studied and being taught sorcery by Doctor Strange himself. And even though they were apart, they ultimately decided they loved each other. They didn't want to move past the love despite them being on different planes and different dimensions, and they wanted to be together. So they got married, but the kicker was they couldn't actually get married on Earth. They couldn't legally be married because Clea was an extra dimensional being, so Strange and Clea began wearing magic rings that were actually just one ring but appeared as two on each of their fingers and connected them mystically for all eternity. That could be where we're headed for the ending of Doctor Strange. Maybe a happy ending for him, but Dormammu is definitely going to try and get in the way. He's already made one attempt at conquering Earth before in the very first Doctor Strange movie. Strange already defeated him once, and I'm sure he'll definitely be able to do it again. However, like I've said, this is going to be more than just defeating Dormammu. Strange is going to have to convince the Black Priests and possibly Doctor Doom in this that he is not the one that is the giant threat.
What if Doctor Doom what if Doctor Doom end up not being the bad guy at the end? Is that possible? Is that a possibility that Doctor Doom might not be a bad person at the end? What if he end up actually being a good person, actually end up helping? Because remember, after Doomsday, then there's Secret Wars. Does Doctor Doom die before then, or does Doctor Doom somehow help? Like, I don't know, bro. Some just tell me, bro, Doctor Doom might end up being good in some way, somehow, bro. He might end up being good.
Threat to the multiverse. But it will be insanely cool to see Doctor Strange go up against Denzel Washington as Dormammu. And remember, Dormammu can take the shape of a human, which I'm sure we'll see quite a lot in Doctor Strange 3, because you don't just get Denzel Washington to have him essentially just appear CGI with his voice. Denzel, you definitely could, but it would be a lot better to really use him, or at least
you better use your money correctly.
He certainly does have a great voice to play Dormammu, and I really do hope they have a very interesting story for Denzel Washington to play out with Clea, with the multiverse, with...
What I want to see from Denzel, I want to see Training Day, and I want to see Equalizer Denzel. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him put foot's ass on everybody in the MCU, bro. I want to see him go crazy, bro. All the money they about to be paying, which I'm pretty sure is a lot, is Denzel Washington Training Day. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Bro, he has to be doing something. You know what I'm saying? He has to be getting busy with the hands or something, bro. Because if he just up there talking, that's crazy. But the way he explained it, it seemed like he's going to come into his human form to come down there and fight Doctor Doom. Because he's probably tired of being in prison. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if he gets in his human form, he can break out of the prison or something. I don't know. But I can tell you right now, he's tired of being fandangled with Doctor Strange's time stone. I guarantee you that, bro. I ain't gonna lie.